We're doing streamflow at this station. When I say streamflow, what do you guys think we're going to be measuring?
The stream.
How fast the stream's going. We're also measuring the volume of the stream and also the weight of the water. So we measure streamflow in cubic feet per second. Does anybody know what a cubic foot would be? Okay. Any other? Just want to try describing a cubic foot?
About like.
Yeah, so that's a general size. So a cubic foot is a foot that is, or is a cube that is a foot wide, a foot long, and a foot high. So this over here. Oh no! That's a cubic foot. How many of these are going under that line? Do you guys see the line?
Yeah.
So we're measuring how many of these go under the line every second. So the first activity we're going to do, first thing you know, how many
So
of
we're
you...
just gonna make it go down the stream or something?
Oh no, I'll explain.
Can I?
Yeah, so how many of you want to go in the water? Okay, that answers that. So our first activity is we're going to find out how many gallons it takes to fill this box. So if you guys will stand up and get in the line. So you're going to get in the water, so go ahead and get in the water. She's going to be filling up these gallons and passing it up to Peyton, and you're going to pass it to
Viviana,
and you're going to pass it to Carter, who's going to pass it to Ashley, and Ashley is going to put them into this box, and she's going to count them, and that's how we're going to find out how many it takes to fill it. So if you get
I'm not gonna get in the water?
Not at this point, you guys will later, if you want to.
Text and choose.
So you'll just pass that to her when she passes you a full one. So fill it up all the way to the top. A little bit more. And then...
Harder. Can I pour it in?
Yeah, pour it in there.
Oh, it's okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're needing another one.
Okay. Nope, that's it. So it took 8. So if you guys want to dump that out and just come on out of the water. So now we know the volume of a cubic foot. It's 8 gallons of water. So the other thing we want to know is the weight of a cubic foot. Now I have a question. How much do you think a gallon of water weighs?
3 pounds?
Yeah, 3 pounds?
5 pounds?
5 pounds?
5 pounds? 2. 5.
Okay, so it weighs 8 pounds.
Oh, I was gonna.
So if it's if we have 8 gallons of water in here,
64.
yes, and each gallon weighs 8 pounds. You do 8 times 8, which is 64 pounds. So this weighs 64 pounds of water. Does anybody know why you want to know the weight of the water?
Wait, what about the plus the box?
Oh, okay.
Would we do that or no?
We wouldn't do that. We're just concerned with the weight of the water. Okay. So that is an
That looks
excellent
cool
question.
because it goes in squares.
It does. So, as I said, does anybody know why it's important to know the weight of the water?
Just in case if there's an accident and you want to make sure you know how much.
That's a good idea. Also, say what if you had a dam or you wanted to build a dam? You want to make sure.
If it was too heavy, you need to get it heavier, maybe.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
you kind of have to like start over. You can't just build in front of the dam because they keep just.
They keep pushing through.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to make sure you have a dam that's the right thickness for how much pressure you're getting. And to calculate water pressure, you have to know the weight. So, now if you guys will sit down on the tarp. Okay, so there's 3 things you need to calculate in order to find streamflow. So the first thing you need to there's width. You need to calculate the width of the stream, the depth of the stream, and how fast, so the flow of the stream. So why do you think we need to know the width of the stream?
Just in case.
Well, because the width, because there's 1 cubic foot. How many cubic feet wide?
Yeah,
So-
that's part of it. But for flow, the reason you want to know is, say if you have a really narrow stream and you have a lot of water going through it, is that water going to be moving fast or slow?
Fast.
It's going to be moving fast. But if you take that same amount of water and you have a really wide
It's
stream,
gonna go slower.
it's going to go slower. So that's
and also,
why.
if it's more narrow, it's most likely going to be more or have more depth because the faster the
The
water,
more
it's
sediment
gonna-
it
it'll-
takes.
yeah.
It'll
I think
push.
usually, yes, that is true. So, but that's another reason we need to know depth. It's the same sort of thing. The depth also affects how fast the water's flowing. So, to find the width,
Or how much water is going in through at one time.
true. So to find the width, I have a tape measure going across the creek right here. And the far bank, it says 41.2 feet. And on the near bank, it says 34. So to find the width, you guys know what we do to these two numbers? Do we-
41.2
We
minus
tied-
34.
Yeah, we subtract. So if you guys will do 41.2 minus 34 equals
7.2.
7.2. Correct. So we're going to round that to 0.7. Now that, oh wait, 7.2. Sorry, we're not rounding that.
Wouldn't it go to 0.6?
It'd go to 7.
Yeah, you can't round it.
Yeah, you can't round. Well, yeah,
Well,
it'd
you
round
can-
I
to
thought if it was under 5, then it
No,
automatically
it
drops
it
down.
stays the same.
it stays the same.
So it'd just be 7.0.
So it would be-
It'd just be 7.
It'd just be 7.
But you don't add the point. It's just like a.
True. So that is our width of the creek. But we're not measuring at every spot on the creek. We're only going to measure at 10 points in the creek because it's a lot easier just to do 10. But we want to do it in even spaces along the creek. Those even spaces are going to be called cells. So to find the width of each of these cells, we take 7 and we divide it by 10. Which is
7 divided by 10.
I just got
I got 17.
okay, it should be
7.
divided by
0.7.
10.
Oh,
I got 1 point. I got 1.5.
It should be 0.7. So you guys can try it one more time. So do 7 divided by 10. 0.7?
Yeah, I added.
Okay. So, if the width of the cell is 0.7, and we're going to take measurements in the middle of each cell. So how do we find the middle of 0.7?
Halfway between 7 point.
Halfway.
It's halfway. So 7.
Divided by
0.7 divided by 2.
Yeah. So if you guys do 0.7
Divided by 2.
divided by 2,
I got 0.35.
yeah, 0.35. So we're going to round that to 0.4.
Because he's going to have it in 2 seconds and he just sorts it out.
Okay.
Carter, use the calculator for once.
Or you could wait
He
until
is,
I ask
his
for the
brain.
question or answer. So, okay, so it's 0.4. So to find our midpoints on the tape, we're going to add 0.4 to 34. So 34 plus 0.4.
34?
I got 34.4.
Yeah, 34.
Okay, so that's our first midpoint. Now to find the rest of the midpoints, we just take this one, and then now we're going to add 0.7. So 34.4 on your calculators,
Okay. Plus 7.
plus 0.7. 35.1. Okay, so that's our second one. And then for the width of each cell, see how there's a column for width. If you could
Did I
put,
do that right? Because I got 40.7 for number 10.
yeah, that's correct. It should be 0.7 in all of them. Let's wait here.
No, my son's from number.
No.
Where?
So now we can figure out how to measure the depth and the flow.
Ooh, can I do that?
All of you will get a chance to do this. So this is called a flow meter. So we use this to determine the depth and the flow. So I'll go over how you find the depth first. So you put it on the ground. Let's say we're in the stream, and you put this on the bottom of the stream. And then you see this little knob right here? So you can turn it to loosen it, and then that allows you to move this piece up and down. And you see how that moves the propeller? The little spinny thing? So you move this up, this moves up, and then you move it down, it moves down. So what you want to do is
the water going to make it go around?
Water's going to make it go around. So to get the depth though, you bring this up to the surface of the water. So let's say it was here, this deep. Let's say this was the surface of the water. So then you would tighten this, and then to get the depth, you read the big pole. So you guys see how it has these little marks on it?
Yeah.
Okay, so each one of these marks counts for 1/10 of a foot.
What about if they have two little ones? You just count it as
Oh, this one just counts as one.
Okay.
They just did multiple lines on this one to mark like 5.5, half a foot, because it makes it easier. You can see 1 foot, half, 2.
2 feet, 3
Yeah.
feet.
So you count from the top and you go down. So this is 0.1, 0.2, and you keep going until you record the number that's here at the top of the plastic piece. So can anybody tell what number it's at right now?
0.8.
Correct, it's at 0.8. So there's 0.5, 0.6,
Well, I just thought
0.7,
because the
0.8.
1 is right under it.
That is helpful. So that
It
would
has
be your
to be
depth.
in between one of them, so it'd be 9.
Okay. So that would be your depth. It'd be 0.8 feet, and that was what you would record in the booklet. And then, but we're just doing an example right now, so you don't have to record. That's good. You're on top of things. So to find flow, you have to find whatever number you find on this side. You have to find on the other side. So you find 0.8 on here, which is right there. And then you readjust this so that the 0.8 on this side is right here at the top of this plastic thing. 8. You tighten it again. And then you make sure the propeller is facing straight into the water and that this is standing up straight. And then you tell the person on land who's holding this to press the reset button. Now this is the actual flow reader. We'll turn it on. Reset. So would somebody like to click that so it's spinning? Okay, we're good. Now keep spinning it until we get a number. Let me know when we get a number.
Okay, come on. We got a number.
Okay, 2.28. So we are just going to ignore this last number.
2.2.
So you're going to record 2.2 as your flow.
Would it be 2.3 or?
Yeah, if we were rounding, it would be 2.3. So
But
we're just going to ignore that one and just do 2.2. Okay? And so yeah, that's how it works.
Oh, when we get in there, are we going to hold this? Are we going to be in the water?
Yeah, when the person who's doing this will be in the water. Everybody else will be on land, but we're going to be switching through jobs. So let's see. So if you'll get in line again. So this person who's holding the cord has to watch the person in the water so they can see how it works. And you just got to make sure the cord doesn't get wet. It's okay if it does, but we're just trying to keep it dry because it's normal. Third person is the meter reader. So what'll happen is, oh wait, hold on. So this is the meter reader. You're gonna need this around your neck because it reduces the likelihood of it falling in the water. You'll be recording. The person who's recording is going to be recording the depth and the flow for each spot. And then this person is doing the calculator.
So will every person get to get in the water?
Yeah, we're all going to rotate through all of these jobs, so you're all going to need to know how to do them. And when we rotate, you can explain your job to the next person after you. And what you're going to do is you're going to multiply 3 numbers at a time. These 3 numbers, width, the depth, and the flow. And the answer is going to go in that box. So what answer sheet? The answer sheet gives you. Alright, so we're all walk across? Hold on to that. Oh, that covers your feet. And we're gonna walk to the side of this.
If I have different socks in my backpack, can you change them? Oh, who cares?
You can change them when you're wet.
Do I have to stand right here?
You can't do this. No, no. So first, we have to find the first midpoint. So we'll ask for the midpoint from the recorder. So first midpoint,
34.4.
okay, so we gotta find 34.4 on this page. Okay, so doesn't matter what numbers it says on there, just ignore it until we tell you to reset, and then you'll hit the reset button. And then the first number you see after we reset, you're gonna tell it to the recorder. So the way this works is I should get the tape. See how it says 35 feet. So these numbers, this will be 35.1, 35.2, 35.3. So we're with 34.4. 34.4. Yeah, so you want to line this up. So now you find the depth. So you loosen this and you put that slope. That should be good.
There?
So a little bit higher. You want about half in the water and half out of the water. Right there's good. And then which pole do you need?
This one?
So you start from the top.
0.5.
Depth. So then we're
It's like 5, 6, because you have to count the one that at the very top of the plastic.
it's closest to 0.5. Because this is 0.4 right here.
Well, I thought it was like, I thought it was 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so then you find 0.5 in this one. Yeah. Straight. And then tell them reset.
Reset. Nothing's happening.
Yeah, it takes about 30 seconds. If it's going to record a number, it'll show a number. But it looks like it's not moving, so it probably won't get a number at this spot.
Well, how about just turn it backwards?
Oh no, it's just because the way the water is right here. See, there's a bunch of plants right up there. So they make it really, the water's really still. Yeah, so we probably won't get a flow at this spot right here. So did you get a number? No, okay, so we got 0 for the flow for the spot.
So we do on number 2.
No, so you're gonna go down. Yeah. So next midpoint?
35.1.
Okay, so find 35.1.
Extra science.
Did you find the depth?
And then I go back there again.
That should be it.
Reset.
My fault. Tippy.
That's you. Can I go get a drink of water?
You can get somebody to hold that for you.
Don't make yourself have to pee.
Because I can't push it.
Did you get a number? No. Okay, so it's 0 again for flow. Alright, and now we're going to switch. So if you'll go out and you'll be doing your...
Yeah, I'm second.
Oh, okay, so...
I'm next, right? In the water.
Yeah, he's getting in the water. You're going to be doing the meter. You're going to be recording.
Wait, isn't he doing the meter?
He's holding the port.